We're live. That's where we're at, Paul.
Hey,
where are we at here today? It's a Feel Good Friday.
I wanna go home. I wanna go.
He just got here, man. What were you slacking today?
Do you remember the show Grizzly Adams?
Oh yeah, I'm older than you. It does kind of look like that.
Yep. Like we're living out in the forest.
That was a good call there, Smith.
Thank you.
Smith, by the way, he gets credit for all the backgrounds, all that kind of stuff. Hey, it's a Feel Good Friday. It's been kind of a weird week, hasn't it? You've had that kind of fogginess thing rolling.
Yes, absolutely. I have felt very much like I had a COVID hangover or something.
Oh, you almost had that, that kind of that background's pretty fitting there.
That haze.
Yeah, I just had that haze. Well, I'm telling you what, we're gonna get into
haze.
it. We're gonna get into it a little bit later, but I'm telling you, this thing right here, the beer, stick around. It won't be long, but I'm telling you, this thing, when you talk about haze, that's why I only brought one. We had to split this bad boy.
All right.
This baby's rough. I mean, it's strong. Well, hey, listen, I'm wearing my Chicago Cubs stuff. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. I gotta make sure I get. So I'm wearing my Chicago Cubs stuff. 27 days until opening day, at Wrigley Field. So I'm pretty excited. I know you're not a big, huge professional sports guy.
I like baseball.
But I wanted to talk about. April's been talking about Trevor, you guys' son, who's playing on the team. You guys got the Braves tickets.
April from Winning Together.
That would be the one.
Yeah.
That would be the one. Your wife. You might know her.
Yes.
You might know her.
Star of Wednesday show.
That's right. Well, she's been posting it on her page, so we wanted to kind of just share it and talk a little bit about it. That they have the Braves tickets for the fundraiser. So Smith's going to put the little picture of the games that are available in the actual comments, and then you can click on.
Real quick, because I was kind of afraid of this because it's a live show. It's not going to let me post the picture.
Okay.
But
When the show's over. Yeah. When the show's over, we'll put that in the comments.
Hey, there's a really good Braves tickets, by the way. And there's some really good teams, really good seats.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've sold a lot of them. And I don't know why
You know how much they run? How much they are?
Like $17.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's dirt cheap, for a ball game.
If it's 27, don't hold it against me. But I think it's 17.
If it's 27, that's
the old switching bait. The old switching bait.
That's what it is. No, but they're really good seats. And I mean, I know you guys are playing the Cardinals. That's always a good rivalry. World champion Dodgers, those tickets are for sale. Marlins are for sale. So again, really cool. Go see the Braves, support the Coffee High baseball team. How are they doing, by the way?
They're doing great, man. We've got, we lost some pitching last year on our high school team, but the guys have really stepped up, and man, I've been pleasantly surprised. So I'm excited. They play today and tomorrow too.
Well, I've asked April a lot about how the team's doing, how's Trevor been doing individually, all that kind of stuff, and it got me thinking this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking about the show a little bit. I knew I was going to talk about the Braves tickets, so we raise some money for Trevor's ball team, but it got me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need a Chloe update.
A Chloe update.
Yeah.
So that rascal, she's the baby in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's almost 15 years old now. So I was shocked when she told me that she wanted to do Olympic weightlifting. And I guess I shouldn't be shocked because she's been around us doing it all the time or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, you don't have to plan on winning and stuff like that. And shoot, man. Little did I know she's really good at that stuff.
Well, I saw a couple of videos that you posted, and she's killing it. So that's very cool. So does that make her? She a sophomore?
Chloe is in the 8th grade.
In 8th grade?
Holy grade.
Man, I'm so old. I'm like so old. So holy cow. Well, man, she's doing tremendous things. Yeah. And like I said, just saw those videos.
She's competing against some girls who were in high school.
That's amazing.
Everybody except her was in high school, and she was right there.
Wow, that's very cool. Well, again, I wanted to talk a little bit about family, so I made sure that we wanted to get Chloe in, because not that we mean to, I just think that sometimes we just kind of forget, to bring certain people up. So I want to talk about Chloe. So you gave us a Chloe update. Now, Case and Cooper, what are they doing now?
Well, they're working. I hope. Are they on the schedule today?
No, they are not. I gave them the day off. So enjoy your day off, guys.
Yeah, enjoy your day off. Yeah, they super proud of those guys. They're in college. Both of them are in college. Both of them are paying their part, most of their way. I mean, it's very good that we can help them. If we couldn't, they would figure out a way to do it. But they're paying their utilities. They're straight A's, and they're working. I mean, I'm stoked about it. Both of them have big plans. So
doing well. I mean, really good guys too. I tell you, really good character people. And I'm not saying that because you're sitting here, or because they're maybe they'll see this. I'm saying it because it's true.
Yeah.
And at their age, how old are Coop and Case now?
20 and 22.
So, I mean, at their ages, a lot of people their age are not mature.
Oh, they got, I certainly wasn't. It took me, I was in my early 30s before I really got, I went to college for a few days. You know what I'm saying? And
I completed a semester.
Did you get a whole semester?
I got a whole semester in.
I think I got
like 6 credits. I think it was something like that. I started a second semester, by the way.
Really?
I did. Yeah, I did. I started. I went for a week and went, nope, not for me.
I think I did the same thing.
But I did. I got one semester in. So, but it's tough going to school and working. So I mean, they're doing both. They're doing school. They're working for us. I mean, they're trying to balance girlfriends and family, and they got a lot of stuff going on. So again, big shout out and big kudos, if you will, to Cooper and Case and Chloe. I mean, again, the whole family just sticking together. I wanted to it brought me to another subject. Was that you can come on in. We've been talking about you. Feel free. There's April. Hey, April, how much are the tickets for the baseball game? Start as cheap as 13.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but hey, we're always talking about why do you want to go cheap? I mean, go
right.
big. Go big. But tickets are available. We were going to put it in the comments, by the way, or you could go in and put it in the comment. Put it in the comments. So that people can figure out how to get those tickets. Well, did you need to ask your husband something? I mean, we're in the middle of a show, but it's okay. We've already interrupted. So, I mean, she's like, I see enough of him. but talking about, we're talking about family, and that's what I was on the path to, was family with things that are going on with COVID. There's so many, negative things that are going on with COVID, but this is Feel Good Friday.
Yes.
So, I mean, we want to stay positive. We want to think about, good things in our lives, things like that. But I wanted to ask you, what's something that actually you may have taken advantage of, if you will, due to the social distancing and all that kind of stuff with COVID that, if COVID never happened, maybe you wouldn't have done. What's something that you've done because of COVID?
We really, this is a serious, touchy subject. So I'm going to try to navigate it while being respectful. Okay. COVID has been terrible for a lot of people.
Yes, it has.
It really has. There's been a lot of people who got sick and a lot of people who died. We actually, almost everybody up here, we had the virus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And luckily we are all healthy now and doing well. But what COVID did for us was allow us, or kind of force us, to spend a lot of quality time at meals and dinners and eating together and cooking together and playing games together.
Yeah.
And getting that QT that we always talk about, we want more of.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason I say I'm having to be careful, because so many people aren't as fortunate. I mean,
some people lost family members
and jobs,
mm-hmm.
and all that QT. I mean, they weren't working, they didn't have money, things like that. So I'm grateful and thankful and aware that everybody didn't have it like that. But for us, there was a lot of great times that kind of forced some family togetherness.
Well, I mean, because that's what I wanted to talk about, was that you're right. There were a lot of negative impacts, still are. I mean, it's not over yet, not even close. We're still dealing with it all over not just our country, but all over the world. But I did want to, again, kind of focus on some of the positive things. And I think you're right. I absolutely agree with you that families, whether they wanted to or not, they were forced to. They were forced to spend more time with their family members, their spouses, all that kind of stuff. And because of, I tell you, Zoom, how many people knew the word Zoom? I mean, I think, like Zoom, like a car, but how many people heard of the company Zoom before COVID? Boy, did they take off. People using, the Zoom platform to see their family members, talk to their family members, friends, work, school. I mean, it seems like everybody's using Zoom now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did some Zooming before COVID, but we do a lot of it now because of COVID. And I just want to mention this. I wasn't being rude. I was looking up something very positive right there. Today, there's a dealer telling me he just sent me a check. But
there you go. That's a positive thing.
Look at the cases per day, and that's the United States. It's going down, man. We're on the back side of this thing. Now, there's still going to be some people that get sick, and I'm not taking away from it, but that's good news. 39,000 cases reported in the United States yesterday. That's good news.
It is.
It's coming down.
And
we're on the back side of this thing.
Well, and that's it. We want to stay positive. Again, we don't want to be stupid about it and ignore it and say, it's over, and don't worry about it. I mean, there's still a lot of places in our country that, I mean, like where my family lives, there's still a lot of shutdown and I mean, restaurants, or actually restaurants have just started to open, I mean, like the actual, dine-in stuff. in Illinois. So it's been rough, in a lot of different places. And, and the one thing, again, I don't want to spread the negative, but I did at least want to bring it up. I mean, I don't want to just avoid it and act like it didn't happen. There's so much misinformation.
Oh yeah.
It just, so when you're watching the news constantly, I mean, you talk about it all the time, good information, bad information, be careful where you get your information, that kind of thing. When you watch the news for a long period of time, and that's what a lot of people did because they were scared, still are, so they're watching the news, and they're getting all this COVID information. And it just mentally, I mean, it's depressing. It's scary, all that kind of stuff. If you let it get to you,
years ago when I was thinking about wanting to do a show, look what happened. We talked it into existence. But I was selling cars. You were running radio stations, and we were talking about doing a show. And I said, I want it to be a positive show. I want people to stop watching the news, stop watching sitcoms. You're like, Billy, they're not going to do that. So it took me 10 years to figure out they're not. But I still truly believe that people would be 99%, you'd be 100% better if you cut out 99% of the news.
I agree.
There's no value in watching the news other than the weather.
Here's a wonderful rule that I heard. I think I got this from Akira the Don. He says, if I see a news segment, I never watch it unless I think it will still be relevant a month from now.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's the 24-hour news cycle and that's obvious, what's the point in wasting time?
They're having to having to create content. We have to create content for this show. And, 5 days a week, we have to create content. And sometimes that's challenging.
Yes.
What if we had to go 24 hours a day?
Oh, man.
You're going to have some BS on there.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that brings up a good point. If we had to go 24 hours, we would be drunk. That's what it would be. If every hour we were doing the beer recommendation of the week, which good segue there. And by the way, props again to Smith. Check it out. Check it out what he's got there in the background.
That looks like.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Did a good job. But this week, listen, I got to show you, man, this thing. Now it's got a pink elephant on it. I mean, you can see I got to figure out where my bearings are. You can see it right there above Billy's head. Up there, the pink elephant. It comes in a 4-pack. And the reason it comes in a 4-pack, Billy, is it's very, very strong. I mean, it's a very strong beer. This is 8.5% alcohol. It's Delirium Tremors, by the way. It's actually a Belgian company. They bring it in Maryland, I think it is. I think it's on the can. Imported from Maryland. But this is an 8.5% alcohol. Now, you would think that it would be super, super strong when you taste it. And you can tell it's got some kick to it, but it's not bitter. It's not heavy. But again, it comes in a 4-pack, 8.5. And it's a little bit bigger, if you can tell. It's a little bit bigger than a regular bottle or can of beer.
You know what a delirium tremor is?
No.
Okay, now, I'm just pulling this out of my head. Smith can tell me if I'm correct or not. I think that's a play on the word delirium tremors. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I do know that is. Yep.
Okay. Do you know the significance of the pink elephant?
That I do not.
Booyah!
He's gonna educate me.
So you brought this pink elephant up in here on Feel Good Friday, and you had no idea that you was about to get an education on what that means.
Well, give me the education.
Delirium tremens. Not sure what tremens means. There's that dealer calling me. Happens every day.
Great problem to have.
Is Felipe in there?
He is not. He works tonight.
Kevin.
He works tonight.
Okay, I'll call him back in a minute. Okay, so delirium tremors is what people have when they're alcoholics and they're coming.
Well, that's good news.
And they're coming off of a binge.
Okay,
and they start having delirium tremors, which are shakes. But delirium, they start seeing pink elephants marching through the hallway. And little pink elephants in the sky.
I'm telling you, if you drank that 4-pack, you probably would see pink elephants.
So that's the play. That's why it's got that on there, dude. That's what it's letting you know.
Well, I had to. By the way, I poured this. I did a really bad pour. You can see how much head is on this thing. It's huge. But I did a really bad pour. But I do have my Cubs cup. I do have my Chicago Cubs cup. So cheers. It's kind of weird with the plastic, but
Delirium Tremors. I'm in on that.
But see, I mean it's got good taste. I mean, it's not overly, it's not overpowering.
No.
So it's got a good taste. And again, I apologize for the bad pour, but you can kind of see it. I mean, it's pretty clear.
It is.
It's not dark. It's pretty light. So
it's very light.
Consistency is really light. It's kind of malty. It's got I love how they describe it on their website. It has a good touch of alcohol. That's what they say. It has a good touch of alcohol.
It does. It does indeed have
so
that.
again, 8.5. Yeah, that be careful if you're drinking the Delirium Tremors. But check it out. And by the way, Smith has a link in the comments. You can go to their website. They have actually several of them. I had their Christmas. They had a Delirium. Delirium's the brand. I had a Delirium Christmas ale, I think it was, or Christmas lager. But I had one of those. And so they have several different ones. So check them out if you're looking for kind of the extreme. I know Ray Mucci, he talks about, he said, hey man, if it's, if it's the 8.5 or whatever, to be careful. So he told me, he's like, man, you always bring on those, those high alcohol beers. But again, I want to shout out again to Amelia Island, man. That one you got me, that winter warmer, man, that thing was good.
Man, I'm telling you what, there's some great beer down there. We got to go do the show down there.
I'm telling you. I mean, I keep saying, okay. And I mean, you can't even get here on time. So how the heck are we going to get to Amelia Island on time? We're going to do the show at like 11 p.m.
I move a little faster when we're headed to the island.
I'll bet. Yeah. And you know what? I bet if we did that show, I bet April joined the show.
I bet she would. Next Friday though, we got to go to Sarasota and then to Miami. Got some dealers to see. So
you got to do business.
I can't do it next week.
I mean, got to do business. We'll make it happen.
Yeah,
we'll make it happen at some point. I know we talk about it a lot, but we will. We'll make it happen. But check it out. Delirium. It's Delirium. It's a weird delirium.be because it's out of Belgium. So if you click it, it will take you there. But yeah. So what do you think?
I really like it, but now I'm confused. You said Belgium, but then you said Maryland.
No, I said it's imported in Maryland. A beer company in Maryland imports it.
Okay, gotcha.
For us.
They make it in Belgium.
Yep.
I like it.
So I mean, it's really good.
Yeah.
But again, forewarning, it's strong. So if you're going to be drinking that, be very careful. Or
split a can.
Or the pink elephants will be.
You'll see.
Will kind of be will be coming out.
They'll start out really small, like ants, marching under the door. Then they get bigger and bigger. Hey, by the way, have you seen?
Is this just funny?
Is that not synchronicity?
No, I want to show you this. This is a book that Billy had on his desk. If you can see it. Say hello to the elephants. That was not planned.
Not planned at all.
That was been sitting there a while.
Yep. Not planned at all.
That's too funny.
Speaking of Delirium Tremors, have you seen the movie The Aviator?
Yes.
Man, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. Very good.
Max Hughes.
Stan Hughes.
Max Hughes. Chan Hughes. But Howard Hughes, that's his name. Howard Hughes. He was quite the eccentric guy, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very weird.
Yeah. He broke some records though.
Yeah.
Fastest plane.
Yeah. I mean, what that brings up a thing. Are you still doing the simulator? I mean, I know you're actually flying for real now, but are you still practicing on the simulator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you get pretty good at it?
Yes. So here's the deal. You get good on that simulator. When you get in the cockpit, it's easier, man. It's so much easier. And I'll tell you what, it's addictive. It's addictive. The more you do it, the more you want to do it.
So if you had to guesstimate, I mean, let's say the last week, how much time you had on the simulator?
4 or 5 hours.
Oh, that's not crazy.
No.
I mean, I thought maybe you were like, 3-4 hours a day.
No, nope. Can't do that. But I do want to get in the plane and go. Like, I have to get single engine before I can get. I have a twin engine plane, but I have to learn in a single. So what I want to do is get in the single and go visit some dealers. My flight instructor has a single. That's what we train in. So I want to take his plane and go visit some of these dealers, take care of business, and get the training.
Yeah.
Use that as my time.
Killing two birds at one stone.
Yes.
Gotta like that. So where are you headed? What areas are you headed in the next week or two?
Oh my goodness. Okay. They wanted me to go to North Carolina to see the dealers that, we signed up 2 dealers there. But I can't make that because Tuesday we have to go see the guy who just called right there in Louisiana. While we're in Louisiana, we're going to hop over to Houston, see some dealers there. And then a lot of dealers are wanting to know about the new Digi Ninja platform that we have. So I'm seeing dealers in Louisiana, Houston, fly back home, hopefully by Wednesday night. And Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, we have to be in Sarasota and then Miami.
It's all jumping,
Yeah.
jumping all around. So where's now? Wait, is there a dealer that's on the beach on this trip? I knew it. I knew it. You had to work, had to work there. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So you're really killing 3 birds with one stone.
3 birds.
Flight, the flight training, the practice, whatever you want to call it, seeing dealers and going to the beach.
Yeah.
So, well, just, don't forget to pick up a couple souvenirs for me. Bring, get some weird beers and bring them
for
to
sure. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get a craft beer in each
sweet
in Lake Charles, Louisiana, Houston, Texas, or North Houston, Texas, somewhere up in there around Conroe. I'll get you one from Sarasota and then one from Miami.
By the way, when you mentioned Lake Charles, Charles, who is in Lake Charles,
yes,
one of our dealers, super cool dude. I mean, he's just such a super cool dude. I mean, we've partnered with him for quite a while, doing extremely well, and he's just such a great guy.
Let's call him after the show.
Yeah. Let him know. He's important, and so are all of our dealers. And by the way, if you are a dealer, we got to throw a little bit of business in there.
Charles, we'll call you right after the show.
Right after the show. We appreciate your business. If you're a car dealership and you would like to grow your sales, and who wouldn't, let us know. You can Facebook message any of us. You can give us a call. You can go to billymerritt.com. Lots of different ways you can get in contact. You can comment right here on the show, and we'll get a hold of you. Speaking of comments, Smith, what do we got for comments today?
All right. Mary Sullivan Moore says, good morning.
Hey, Mom.
Barb Sullivan Thurlby says 27 days. Woo-woo.
Hey, sis.
Go Cubs.
It's obviously just us dropping the links for April's tickets.
By the way, those tickets, again, they're for later on in the summer. And April's telling me that the games are for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all weekend. They're all weekend games. So it makes it nice and easy to go. And I think I asked you, have you been to the new stadium?
I have not.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I mean, again, being from Chicago, being a Chicago Cubs fan, Wrigley Field, one of the oldest stadiums. So there's lots of history, and they've made some updates and things like that, upgrading it a little bit. You have to. But the Braves Stadium, the new one, they renamed it. Now it's Truist Truist Park, I think it is. But they did a really nice job. There's no bad seat. When I went there 2 years ago, when they opened up the stadium, I kind of walked around, the whole stadium just to kind of, get a view and, and see how the field looked, all that kind of thing. And they really did a great job. I mean, there's no bad seat in there. And so again, we're going to plug one more time. You can get tickets for the fundraiser for Coffee High, which, by the way, that leads me, when I said reminder, it reminded me. Okay. What do you need to remind people of? What do they need to do for you?
Look, guys, we have some people that are looking at us, thinking about giving us an even bigger platform and giving us a boost so we can get our message out to a lot of people. But here's one thing I need. I need more YouTube subscribers. So if you will, hop over to YouTube, please. I'll pay you back. And subscribe to the Billy W. Merritt channel. There's all of our shows are on there. Smith has done a fantastic job with the clips. All the clips are on there.
Yeah.
So we have, somebody may not want to watch a 2-hour or 1 hour show, but hop over there and you can pick. He has them titled. So what do you want to hear? You want to hear this? Click on it.
And some people that maybe they don't see or even maybe, some of them may not even know about some of the other shows.
Right.
I mean, Monday, we got the Monday Morning Money Show. Tuesday, you got Digi Ninja Sales Academy going out. Wednesday, of course, we mentioned April joining the show. That's such a fun show, by the way, called Winning Together. There's a feature that we do in Winning Together called He Said, She Said. That is just, that's awesome. That's the most fun.
Every single time.
I'm not so sure about that. But Thursday, you have the Digi Ninja Dealer School. And then today we have Feel Good Friday. But let's talk about, because again, a lot of people may not have seen some of the other shows. So just name drop a little bit. Just, rattle off a few of the guests you've had on some of the shows.
So the Money Show, we have experts. We have money experts like Russ Story, who's, he is an advisor in 11 different states, licensed, stockbroker. We get tons of useful information from him. We've had Glenn Lundy on the show. We've had Shaka Dyson on the show. We've had, help me out, Smith. We had Caleb Wilson on the show. We've had Dave Robars from Grant Cardone's office on the show. We've had Jeff Stearns, who has his own podcast. He's a famous podcaster. He's been on the show.
Little Red Book. Who was the guy?
The Little Red Book.
Who was the author?
The Little Red Book.
See, that's why you got to watch the shows.
What's the Little Red Book?
The dude, oh man, it was
Jeffrey Gittimer.
That's it.
Jeffrey Gittimer. He was good.
Yes.
He's written several books.
Yeah.
We got some exciting, I guess, coming up on the show. You said we have Tuesday, Smith.
Tuesday, that's Jay Jensen.
Jay Jensen.
So give us
He's
a
a
little
character.
background. Yeah, I was just gonna say, give
He
me.
is a
I don't know.
sales expert. I know he has a show. I think he's authored. I mean, he's highly acclaimed sales trainer, sales expert. Pretty edgy. I love seeing some of the things, that like he'll call BS on somebody in a minute. So that's going to be fun.
He's gonna be doing the show with you,
Yeah.
and he's gonna call BS on people like in a minute.
Uh-huh.
You gotta watch that show. You gotta watch that show. Is Billy gonna be called out for BS? You gotta watch the show.
On a sales show, I don't think I will.
Is that Tuesday? You said he's gonna be there
Thursday.
Tuesday.
Let's make sure. I believe it's Tuesday.
Tuesday. He believes it's Tuesday. If you believe it.
Yes,
Frank-
Tuesday the
Frank
9th.
Tuesday.
Frank Lopes, we're going to try to do him this weekend. He's busy during the week. See if he hasn't read that one yet. He volunteered to do it on the weekend.
So again, a lot of cool guests, that we've had on the show and upcoming, all that kind of stuff. Go to YouTube. Smith, the producer, does a great job. Smith, throw out a couple of the different platforms so they can watch that stuff.
Obviously, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Most of that stuff's on the IGTV tab, so you'll need to move over one tab to see the longer stuff.
on the gram.
You can catch us live on Twitter or Periscope, quote unquote. That's it currently. You can find audio only on SoundCloud if you just want to listen to the podcast version.
Mhm.
And we're going to work on getting that sent out everywhere else.
The after
Wow.
one. Yeah, we're going to be.
Man, that's just, all over the place, which is awesome.
So do you tweet?
I do not.
You're not a tweeter?
I am not a tweeter.
Are you a tweaker?
Not a tweaker.
Okay, good. Making sure.
Not a twerker either.
I like to tweet.
You like to tweak
I like to tweet.
or tweet? Okay, you like to tweet.
I be tweeting.
What are you tweeting about?
So I like to get involved in some in-depth conversations on.
But I thought Twitter was supposed to be short. It was only like so many characters or
It
whatever.
is, but man, we need on next Friday's show, Smith. Let's get some examples of tweets that I've been involved in. So what happens is it's a message board, right? So for instance, okay, I love to talk about Bitcoin.
Yeah, of course.
And Peter Schiff, who's I'm an unlikely advocate for him, or an unseeming advocate, because he is he thinks he knows everything. He's very opinionated. He's very closed-minded. He never says I could be wrong. He's always right, according to him. But I love his arguments. I love to hear him talk. I love to hear the points that he makes about he's an economist. He's a real economist.
Okay.
And he'll take on he like when he is a Bitcoin bear. So when Elon Musk bought the Bitcoin, he would tweet at them. And give them examples. And he got Elon to tweet back to him. He got what's the shark? Not Damon, not Mr. Wonderful, but the one that owns the basketball team. The shark.
Oh, Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban bought into Bitcoin also, and Peter Schiff told him why he shouldn't have. And and Cuban just typed his name, at Peter Schiff, and put just an emoji of a big purple eggplant, and that's all he said back to him. And so they just get involved. And the cool thing about Twitter is, if you comment on one of these things, then and you've got hundreds of thousands of people watching these tweets, they're going to see what you say,
Mhm.
and they will tell you you're stupid, or they will give you example, or they'll retweet you. So it's a way to, you can get involved in a conversation that's being held by Elon Musk and Peter Schiff,
Yeah.
and Mark Cuban.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And that is how I got Donald Trump to retweet me back in 2000, whenever it was, 8 or 10.
I'm really surprised you don't have that printed out and made it into like a poster.
I have it
you know.
screenshotted somewhere. I think you can still go to Twitter and search for that particular tweet and find it. I'll do that. He retweeted me twice, actually. Mentioned my name twice. That was back before he had billions of followers, millions of followers.
So how long have you been on Twitter?
Since 2009.
Pioneer.
Yep.
He's pioneer.
Pioneer.
What about you, Smith? Are
That's
you
where I
on?
met Grant at.
Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. I essentially never use it anymore, though. I need to get back to that.
So
You can get involved in some cool I get my education from Twitter.
so what? I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Better than CNN.
So Smith, Do you remember when you joined Twitter? What was the main reason that you joined Twitter?
I mean, it was probably promoting.
Okay. I get that. I mean, Mr. Promotion over here. So, I mean, I understand that. I don't know. It just seems kind of strange. I mean, the whole, because it just seems, and now again, I'm saying this without even being on Twitter. I'm getting information, probably bad information, but I'm getting information that it just seems like there's a lot of negative things that are being pushed out on Twitter.
Yeah, there is a lot of negative things. So, but you can choose who to follow.
Okay.
So there's probably just as much good information. I don't know. There's probably not as much good information, but I just don't follow the bad information. Like I don't follow you can follow, now I follow some people that I think are ridiculous because I just like to know what they're thinking. Mm-hmm. So you just to know what some of the people are thinking. So there's a few people that I consider just pure idiots that I follow. There really is. I mean, I follow AOC. She'll put some stuff out there sometimes. It's
just because you're an idiot.
It's hilarious, man.
I wonder if that's their promotion campaign. Come on, join Twitter just because you're an idiot.
Just because you're an idiot. But I've met some people on Twitter that are friends of mine to this day that I would not have met if I hadn't been on Twitter. That's actually how I first communicated with Grant Cardone before I went to work.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that part.
Yep.
So and that's obviously, he's made a big impact.
Oh yeah.
On your life. By the way, have you kept up, since you brought up Grant, have you kept up with the show? I couldn't even tell you the name of the show now. How bad is that?
Undercover Billionaire.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah. I watched that first show. Was not impressed. I don't like how it jumps around.
Yeah.
Just like, nah.
The 10X Growth Con's coming up though. I think that's tomorrow or next week.
Okay. So, well, I mean, and you've been following. So you've been following him since 2009. Is that right?
2009 or 2010.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, it's been 10 or 11 years.
That's a long run. So, I mean, well, he's been, obviously he's been a big impact. You said he was kind of your mentor.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my mentors.
If you will. So now the roles have kind of turned. Not you're not his mentor, but I mean the roles have turned. You were what do they call it? Are you the mentee?
Mentee.
Is that it? I'm not really sure if that works. But you were the student. So you were the student, but now, fast forward 10 years later, now you've become the teacher.
Yeah.
Now you're teaching people how to do this.
I love coaching and mentoring. And, there's things that there's knowledge that I have that I've really searched hard to get. And, I try to pass that along to people. And I have made an impact on quite a few people. We even have the Digital BDC Academy that has some coaching on there as well. So yeah, man, that is cool when you can take your information, the good information, and pass it along and inspire or help someone else. As a matter of fact, when I got here today, someone was calling me to get some coaching advice on Facebook ads. And I just gave it to them, man. And last week, a business called me and said, "Hey, will you come by and look at our ads?" And I went and looked at their ads, and I helped them out just because I wanted to help. You know what I'm saying? I learned things when I look at other businesses too. So, that's the thing, man. If you know something, share it.
We try, again, we Feel Good Friday. We try to keep things positive, not just for this 1 hour of the show. We try to keep it positive the entire time, we're at work, in our personal lives, all that kind of stuff. You try to keep that positive mentality. And, things do come around sometimes that they kind of beat you down, that, you feel a little not yourself. Well, you said, this week you've been kind of in that, kind of that fog, that muddy. You're kind of going through it, a little bit muddy, I guess, whatever, doing the best you can, but it is weird. So there are things that kind of pop up in your life. So it's difficult and it's challenging, but having the right people around you really makes a big difference.
Man, look, that is key. That is key. And here's something that I want people to understand that you can do. You can design your life exactly the way you want it.
Okay.
If you want tons of free time, if you want tons of vacations, if you want tons of money, if you want tons of family time, you can have that. You have to pick and choose what you want, and you can go after and have it. And like I have wanted for 10, 12 years, maybe longer, I wanted two things. I wanted to have money working for me, and I wanted to have people working for me, because there's only about 3 ways you can get money. You can work for your money.
Mm-hmm.
You can let your money, you have to get enough first, but you can have your money work for you, or you can have people work for you. And when you do all 3 of those, that takes that. Like I have that. I have wonderful people, amazing people working for me that are taking care of things that does give me the ability to go do other things, including grow our business. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of that is is all about the people. If you hit yourself to the wrong people, you're going to have some problems.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm learning through this whole process too. You as the operations manager in our business, we had a need for 48 people.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just hiring anybody.
Yeah.
You know, we were training them, of course. But then when we decided we were going to tighten the belt up a little bit, we made sure that we kept the core people that we wanted, that were the right people, the good people. And it just made everything 100% better.
It really is. I mean, it does. It makes a huge difference.
Even though November was probably the biggest month we had ever had, right? It was huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Compare it to February, where it wasn't the biggest month. It was a great month. It was a good month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would you choose to do again?
February.
Absolutely.
Yeah. well, and the thing about it is it was success rate too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't want to say it's never easy. I mean, you have to work. You got to put in the work. So I don't want to say it's easy that February was easy, but when you have the right people, it's easier.
Yes.
You know, so I'll say that it's
People.
easier when you have the right people. People believe in the same concept. You know, everybody's on board doing the same things. You know, I mean, it just does. It makes a big, big difference. You picked up the hat. Hold that up so that people can see it.
Yes, sir.
There's a couple different versions of this, by the way. BillyMerritt.com. You can buy one of these. You can support DigiNinja. You know, so you can go get your own hat. I do love the gray. I mean, I have a black one, but I have the gray one too, and I love the gray. So I'm glad we added that. We got some T-shirts, we got polo shirts, got some koozies. You know, got some koozies laying around. There you go. Can you see that, John?
Yes.
And after the show, Smith, he'll put a link in to BillyMerritt.com so you can see that, so you can order some stuff if you would like. Classic Rock Revisit. So listen, you know, music's been a big part of my life.
Yes.
I mean, it always has been. I mean, when I was little, you know, I've said this before, we weren't exactly rolling in money, you know, and so radio was free. So, you know, to be able to get music and just turn the radio on, it, you know, made a big impact in my life. And so much so that I wanted to do radio when I was a kid. And then I did radio for a really long time, 20 plus years. And then, you know, things changed and turned and whatever. And radio kind of started to drift and die off, if you will, things like that. And I know you're still thinking it's going to come back in some way or whatever. And maybe you're right. You know, maybe you're right. I mean, we'll see. You know?
I tell you what, you find a radio station for sale and I'll show you.
Okay.
That's a cool background right there.
That is. I mean, he did a great job, man. They're very cool. But
Can you imagine the things we could do with her.
So talking about me and how music affected me, and it still does. I mean, you know, again, earlier this week, I think I told you, I kind of had, you know, you just have those days. Sometimes you try to be positive. You're trying to have the right mindset. And sometimes just things just get in your head or, you know, you're not feeling very good or whatever it is. And you kind of just feel like you're a little off. So I worked that day. Well, you know, I had the intention when I came to work that day that I was probably going to work later. I was probably going to work overtime. And so I had that intention the day before. I woke up, came to work, did the job. Everything was fine. Nobody ticked me off or, you know, it wasn't like anything happened to me. I just felt like I was in this kind of funk. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be trying to work when I'm not in the right mindset, because at least for me, it doesn't work very well.
No, it doesn't work well for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I end up wasting time, getting frustrated over stupid stuff, things like that. So I just went home. You know, I mean, like I said, worked the full day. Then I went home and I mean, I just played music, and it makes a huge impact on my life. It can lift me. There are some sentimental songs, you know, that people, they use it as almost soothing or healing. Mm-hmm. You know, if somebody passes away or somebody's not feeling well, or whatever, they listen to music, things like that. But so this week's Classic Rock Revisit, this kind of has both. It has a really good mixture of rockers and ballads. Now, Bryan Adams, this week, by the way, Bryan Adams, Waking Up the Neighbors, 1991. That's the album that you can see. I got way over there by Billy.
Every time.
Yeah. I mean, we just switched that around. So it's right below. So it's by me. Next time. No, always giving Smith more work to do. No, it looks fine. It really does. It looked great. So thank you for doing that. But Bryan Adams, Waking Up the Neighbors. This was the actual album that the monster ballad, Everything I Do It For You, was on. That was just worldwide #1. It was everywhere. You know,
what's your first memory when you think of Everything I Do It For You?
Honestly, because I was a mobile DJ too. So it's every time I hear that song, I think of just DJing weddings. Yeah. I mean, you know, just wedding song. That's the first thing that pops in my head. How about you?
I had a friend who was in love with with my cousin, as a matter of fact, and boy, he was in love, and I guess at the time she wasn't loving him quite back as much, but man, he would play that. He would make me listen to that song. We were 17 years old, 18 years old. He would play Bryan Adams. I'm like,
brought the tears to his eyes, didn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Why do people like to roll around in the sad songs when they're sad?
Well, I think you've heard the old cliche, nothing wrong with a good cry, or that a good cry will help you, all those kind of things. I mean, for some people it works, for other people it doesn't. I mean,
I don't think it works. I think that what they're doing is they're just making the problem worse.
Yeah.
I do. And I think that here's some of the specialized knowledge that I've researched very deeply.
Where's that guy that calls BS?
Now, on that point, just a quick one, but is there anything that will put you in a worse mood when you're depressed on a relationship than a happy love song? Just throwing it out there.
I think Sean's or Smith's had some bad relationships.
we could
we're talking about love songs and feeling emotion. He's like, is there anything that makes you more mad?
Come lay down on my sofa. I think we need to dive a little deeper.
That's right, man. Something's going on in that.
Uncover the pain. Uncover the pain. No, so there's this thing called the pain body that we all have inside of us, and the pain body is like to explain it maybe easier in more relatable terms. You have, in biblical terms, you had Adam, right? Mm-hmm. Adam was the sinful man, right? And then you had Jesus, which was the answer to all that. So you had life and death, right? To people. And there was the old Adam, and that represents the imperfection, the pain body, that which needs saving, all of those things. We all have that inside of us. And that it wants to stay alive. The pain body, if you will, this is a little new agey. Smith probably is keeping up with me a little faster. Right?
Oh yeah. He's over there.
But the pain body has one desire, and that's to stay alive, to survive. So how it does that is either by causing pain or feeling pain, and it doesn't matter which one it is. And if you look at the world, if you look at the human condition, and you look at all the bad stuff that we're talking about on the news, the killing, the pain, the robbery, the stealing, just the horrible things that humans can do. I mean, it comes from somewhere, right? So the theory, the study is that's the pain body. And you see some people who get redeemed from that, who are able to focus and able to operate more inside the love and light and the goodness that's also in people, mm-hmm. right? So, and that's our job if we want to be better people, better humans, make the world a better place, is to operate inside the kindness and love and enlightenment, if you will. But when that pain body it will jump up there and try to get attention. And it does it by causing pain or inflicting pain. And if you're mad at somebody, if you've ever been mad enough to somebody to hit somebody, you operate in that, you're operating inside the pain body.
I think Smith's full of pain.
Yes, did you see that earlier? So what we need to do, Smith?
I thought it makes him mad. Happy song.
Smith, we need to meditate.
Yes, of course.
He's like, can we do that right now? I'm about to bust somebody.
That's not the real you, Smith, that was experiencing that. That was your pain body flaring up.
My pain body.
That was your pain body coming to the surface.
Now, I just need to go read the Tao Te Ching again.
Or actually, I think you'd really enjoy it, Smith, to read the Power of Now.
Power of Now.
Tolle.
Okay,
that's where that whole
or the power of medication to calm you down.
Stay off the meds, man.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know I'm not a big fan.
Meanwhile, stay off the meds.
I thought it was funny.
Well, going back to the classic rock
Can
revisit.
anybody spell hypocrite?
Stay off the meds. But I knew that this Bryan Adams. I asked him this, several weeks ago. What was one of the artists that kind of inspired him, or one that he liked to listen to, it's like that. And he said Bryan Adams, and I was actually kind of surprised. He's a little bit younger than me, a little bit, just a little. But I was surprised because he had said, wasn't it Cuts Like a Knife? Wasn't that the album that you said?
Yeah, no, I love this one, and some small like non-hits off of this one that I really love. Do I Have to Say the Words?
Mm-hmm.
And Don't Drop That Bomb on Me. And those both have some really awesome guitar lines. That solo to Do I Have to Say the Words is something you really wouldn't expect from like an 80s ballad type thing. Like it's pretty close to shredding at times.
Well, that's what that was part of the thing that kind of drew me to it, because at that time he had so many ballad hits. I mean, he had 4 or 5 in a row that were just massive. I mean, he had other singles. I mean, even off this album, I mean, he had, Can't Stop This Thing We Started. It was up tempo, and there were a couple other, up tempo tunes that were on there. But he started to become a ballad artist, where everybody was just like, oh my gosh, here's another love song. Here's another love song. Mm-hmm. And this really does have a great mixture. I mean, 15 tunes on this thing, and that was unheard of. It really was. 12 was about the maximum that you'd ever get on a record, or a CD or whatever format. I know now today people are like, what? There was a limit? What? That kind of stuff, because they just download everything, or play it off platforms, or steal it, or just play it for free off YouTube, or whatever it is they're doing. But this was actually a really good complimentary album of showing his talents. So a lot of good stuff. So again, had singles, Thought I Died and Gone to Heaven, Do I Have to Say the Words, Everything I Do it for You. Again, huge monster ballads. There'll Never Be Another Tonight, All I Want Is You. He had 6 or 7 off the album, but the one, I always want to throw in that little kind of hidden track, or one that maybe you're not aware of. The one that I love, the deep track, is what I call House Arrest. Just a jam. It's like a 3.5 minute. It just rocks. I mean, it's just a great song. So go check that out.
Paul, could you imagine if we had the license to play these songs?
I would love it.
And Feel Good Friday was a 6-hour show.
Boy, I tell you, that would be dangerous.
Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
In a studio where we, because I'm learning, this is fun talking about this music, but what if we talked about the song and then played the song?
I'd love that.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Hey, Smith, can you just play the song?
They'll shut us down.
We can play 3 seconds of it.
They'll shut us down.
Can you name that song in 3 notes?
As far as this is from 2019, but this is obviously like the first thing I found. Saying an annual track license generally costs between $500 and $2,000, plus the amount for publishing, and must be renewed to remain online. So
Man.
That's about how that works.
He can afford that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He's got a plane.
How can we make it profitable? That's
Good question.
How can we make it?
Question.
Advertisers, if you would like to advertise, Feel Good Friday. BillyMerritt.com.
You can choose your artist. Do you want Bryan Adams? Do you want
That's
Kid
right.
Rock?
That's right. Who do you want us to play? We'll do it. We'll just
I bet Chase Foraker will let us play his music.
You were a big fan of his.
Mm-hmm. He's doing pretty well now.
He's a young independent country artist.
Yeah.
Is he down in Florida?
He's in Nashville.
Nashville now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rocking and rolling, man.
But didn't you see him in Florida?
Oh yeah, I met him in Fernandina Beach playing that some live shows down there. I actually hired him to come do a show in Douglas. It was a really good show.
Cool.
Georgia football.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, they're not a sponsor, but since you mentioned live music, I did at least want to give them a plug. 317, you go there a lot.
Yes. Now here's the thing: a sponsor on this show cannot be local only, even though they're local here. Mm-hmm. People travel from all over the country to come eat at 317. I've seen executives that travel in to our local Douglas airport, and they love downtown Douglas, Georgia. 317 is one of the restaurants down there where you can get the best Cuban sandwich in the country.
We disagree.
Did you eat it?
But we disagree.
Have you tried it?
Yes, I did. I tried it.
And you don't agree?
No. It's a very good sandwich. So we agree on that. It's a very good sandwich, but I don't think it should be called a Cuban.
You don't think?
No, I don't think That's a Douglas, Georgia Cuban, in my opinion.
We will revisit this next Friday, and I will have my evidence manual of all the reasons why it is a Cuban.
Okay, you bring that in, and I'll have that guest that calls BS.
Okay,
yeah, I'll have that. I'll have that on my side. But in all seriousness, though, they really do. Trey and the staff down at 317. Again, I know they're not our sponsor, but I wanted to at least give them a shout out because for so long when I moved here, that was really about the only thing. A lot of people ask me, was it weird, moving to a small town? First of all, everybody thinks I'm from Chicago, but I'm not. I'm from a small suburb way outside Chicago. So, I mean, I grew up in a small town, but moving from the north to the south, yeah, that was obviously a little weird. I mean, culture change is different here. But when I moved to Douglas, there just wasn't a whole lot of food options. I mean, you had, there were probably a dozen fast food chains and things like that, but there just really weren't a whole lot of food options. And now it just seems like probably the last, probably 2-3 years, things have just kind of started, it's kind of started to roll. So, we're getting a few more chains and that's fine. I mean, I'm certainly, a lot of people were glad when we got a Chick-fil-A and things like that, but I love seeing the independent restaurant, kind of come in, do their own thing, make an impact. Yeah. So again, a big shout out to Trey and the gang.
How wonderful it is to be from Georgia, be close to Florida during this last year where we could actually go out and eat at a restaurant.
And you're not kidding about that. You're not kidding. So again, a big shout out to my family and friends up north who are still kind of, struggling through that. It's been a fun show, man. Talked about a lot of different things. Your family, again, I wanted to throw that back at you real quick. Your family has been such an important part of your life. So many people don't see that side of you. They see the Billy promotion machine, work, all that kind of stuff. But you really, you have a really tight family. You guys do a lot of things together. And so I wanted to just kind of bring that to the forefront, talking about some of your children and some of the things that they're involved in and give them, shout outs of what good character people there. So you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You're doing
I
a good
appreciate that. I really do.
Smith, I don't think I've ever asked you this. Do you have any siblings?
Do I have any siblings? I do not.
Okay.
I am an only child.
So, she's an only spoiled child.
Indeed.
Who apparently has an anger problem.
Every once in a while.
If you'd have just had a brother or sister.
I may be the perfect example of the opposite of what we were talking about earlier. Just, bottle it all up. Every once in a while, blow up on people over nothing.
Well, I said it before and I'll say it again. Smith gets off work at 4:30. And if I did this last week and I won't do it again. If you come to him at 4:27, 3 minutes before he's off work and you have a project for him, he is not a friendly man. He is not a friendly man. So no, big shout outs to Smith too, for always doing such a great job on the production. So have yourself a great weekend. Again, Delirium Tremors. This thing is powerful though. So again, if you're,
split it with someone.
Yeah, split these or whatever. Be careful. It comes in a 4-pack. Go check it out. Check out the comments after the show where I'll have that link if you want to buy those Braves tickets too to help out Coffee High Baseball. So again, have a great weekend. If you're going to be drinking, make sure you're not driving. Be careful out there. Be safe and have a great weekend. See you, man.